Not all corporate jobs have to be an absolute nightmare. In fact, working in data science has been an absolute game changer of a career move, and I'm about to show you why. Hi, my name's Kevin, and if you're new to this channel, I am a civil engineer turned data scientist in the fintech space, and the first reason why I love working in data is because of the remote or hybrid work setup. So, having come from civil engineering, I've fully experienced traveling to work, spending an hour plus of your time on the road, and that contrast, moving from on-site to fully remote hybrid, that experience has just been amazing. And just on the why remote work over, or even hybrid, over fully on site is because I get to, well, throughout the day, I get to spend more time with my family. And whether that be working, if electricity goes out, if you're in South Africa, I go work at my parents, whether that be spending more time with my wife, whatever that looks like, more family time is very important to me. The second reason is back when in my final civil engineering role, I was out the house by 20 past 6 in the morning. So you can imagine what time I had to wake up. And that meant, I think 35 minutes going, 35 minutes coming back. So that's about an hour and 10 minutes on the road. But now with the remote setting, I get those hour, 10 minutes back to whether if I want to do a bit more work, whether I want to focus on my side hustle, I can do that. The third reason of why remote or hybrid over on-site work is because it allows me to plan out and schedule my day much more better. Besides the traffic part, sometimes traffic was added when if there's an accident or some sort of blockage on the road. And even at work, more distractions, more people coming to your desk, talking to you, all these things added into not having a proper schedule for the day. So remote work helps me focus much better. Reason number two of why I love my corporate job, specifically in tech and within tech, specifically focusing on data, the world of data science, is because data roles exist in almost every industry, whether that be finance, healthcare, utilities, retail, entertainment, what else is there? Marketing, you name it. And just because of that reason, during my career phase, I am not locked into one domain or one field. I can try marketing. If I'm bored of marketing, I can go to healthcare. If I'm bored of healthcare, I can go to finance. Currently in finance, so maybe we'll try something new. But the point is, boredom is not really a thing in this field. The third reason on why I love my corporate job is because the work itself is genuinely fun, to the point where sometimes it can even feel like a game. For example, think of like a Monopoly, right? If you played Monopoly before, you receive your cash, your starting point at the beginning of the game. That's you receiving your data set. Then you can actually go on and build your houses, your townhouses or hotels in your own way. And that's what it feels like a lot of the time, where you get this data set and you go and obviously clean this data, start your journey. You develop your own insights in your own way, using your creativity, using your methods, building your own models in your own way, following your own path with your intuition. And what I love about that is it uses both the creative side and the logical side of your brain, all in one field. And because of all this, I've never had an instance where two problems are exactly the same. There's always a new challenge with a new problem that presents itself. And because of all this, it keeps the work fun. But you know what also can be fun? What can be fun is if you subscribe to this channel and you see more of these videos, because I try to keep these videos entertaining, fun, but also very educational. So if you find this valuable, do consider subscribing. But let's move to point number 4 of why I love this corporate job. And that is because the pay ceiling is quite high. Let's touch on the first reason as to why that is. And you've heard me say that a lot of data roles are remote. And because of that, It's possible that you get a global opportunity. So, for example, you staying in South Africa, but you land a remote role based in the US, based in the UK, and obviously with that happening, it means much more pay, but you still stay in South Africa. As an example, I've had a friend who recently they've landed a US based role, and because of that, they've almost doubled their current income. And this is obviously very different to something like civil engineering where I come from, where in order to get that bigger pay, you actually have to make the move to that country. And obviously, the living expenses in that country is much higher. So, is it really a good pay raise? And reason number five of why I love my corporate job in data, and actually ties to reason number four of this high pay ceiling, and that is you'll find that in many of these database roles, you're going to be working with executive members of your company or senior leadership because you have to present, insights you found, models you've built to them, explain it to them in an understandable way so that they can make business decisions based on what you found. But because of all this happening, by that nature, it is easier or more probable to get those promotions to that senior role because you've built this rapport, you've built this relationship with these senior people. And obviously, with getting that senior role quicker, it means higher pay, it means quicker promotions, it means increases in your salary. And just as an example, I've know of someone who's went from literally a data science intern to head of data in their department in the space of 4 years. And that's only because they've been working so closely building that relationship with the senior leadership of that company. With that being said, loving your data job is one thing, but in order to love it, you first have to get in. And in this video right here, I talk about how I landed my first role without even finishing my data science bootcamp. Check it out.